Hello everybody, happy to see you all in this YouTube channel. So now this is Ruben, your social science teacher. Hopefully you have enjoyed the previous videos, and in today's class we are going to see the continuation of this particular chapter. Okay, so you know in part 1 we have discussed about the same money and credit with some other informations. In this video we are going to see the continuation. Clear? So I hope you all are doing good. So I am doing great with all your support. So don't forget to like the video, share the video and subscribe the video. Let us enter into the topic now. In the last class, okay, we have seen this. Let me give you a quick recap on all those topics what we have seen in the last class. So money, so it's all about medium of exchange. Okay, that point you have to keep it in your mind. And barter system is all about exchange of goods with double coincidence of wants. So that is what we have used in our ancient time period. Okay, and limitations, there are certain limitations with barter system. And modern forms of money we have seen, okay, paper currencies and coins. I have told you about paper currency because it is made of 75% of cotton. So that is the reason it is not damaging very easily. We can just dry it out in order to use it if it has got wet. Clear? So I hope you all can understand it easily. Okay, so now, so this we have already seen barter system, okay, and the double coincidence of wants, that should be there. Both the persons should be in the need of that, then only we can do barter system, otherwise we can go ahead with this. So that is what, lack of double coincidence of wants and difficulty in storing values and different payments method, and some goods are indivisible. Clear? So and about money, okay, so if you talk about money, so it's a medium of exchange. Clear? So that we have seen. And modern forms of money, so this pictures, and about check we have seen, okay, all those. And Reserve Bank of India, so I have clearly told when Reserve Bank is formed, okay, which supervises the functioning of banks. So whatever be the printing work, whatever, so all those things will be entertained only by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. And it is located in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Previously it was located in Calcutta, but soon after it was shifted. And deposits in the bank, okay, here we have discussed about demand deposit. Whenever you require, you can get back the money from the bank with some on demand, you can get your money. So just for the safety purpose, so whatever the amount you are depositing in the bank, you will be paid interest for that. Okay, so it's all about demand deposits, okay, that we have seen. And loan activities, so in this class we will be clearly discussing about loan activities. So what are all the loan activities we follow in India and how the people are benefited out of it. So before going to this, let me tell you a very important function of bank. First of all, we have seen about deposits. So if we have money, abundant of money, we will be depositing in the bank. For that we will be paid interest. Clear? So what the bank will do with that money, with that deposits, so bank will start to give loans to other poor households or rich people, okay, so for interest, okay, everything for interest. When you go with bank, everything for interest, so they will give loans to others. So this is how bank is making money out of our money. Clear? Out of our currency, out of our deposit of money. Do you understand? So we will be depositing some amount. Clear? So that amount they will be utilizing it for the loan purpose. Clear? But always there will be some difference. For our deposits we will be paid some less interest when we compare with the loan amount with the bank. Okay, when they are providing some loans to us, definitely they will charge somewhat high. Comparatively that interest will be high than the deposit what we are getting from the bank. Bankல இருந்து நமக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வரும்போது அது ரொம்ப குறைவா தான் இருக்கும். ஓகே, பட் பேங்க் நமக்கு லோன் கொடுத்துட்டு நம்ம கிட்ட இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வாங்கும்போது டெஃபினட்டா நமக்கு லோன் அமௌண்ட் கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தி தான் இருக்கும். Do you understand? So this is how bank functions. Clear? So banks keep only a small proportion of their deposits as cash with themselves. கண்டிப்பா கொஞ்சம் தான் அவங்க வச்சிருப்பாங்க. For example, banks in India these days hold about 15% of their deposits. So 15% ஏன்னா immediate if எல்லாருமே at a time they will not come on a demand basis. Okay, so 15% அவங்களுக்கு இந்த immediate requirement satisfy பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். But remaining amount they will be spending only in terms of loans. Loan activity la they all are involved. Okay, and as cash. This is kept as provisions to pay the depositors who might come to withdraw money from the bank on any given day. Okay, so on any given day, he or she can go and collect their money with demands. Clear? So since on any particular day, only some of its money, many depositors come to withdraw cash, the bank is able to manage with this cash. Definitely, they will be in a position to provide your money back. Clear? They will take care of the risk. And banks use the major portion of the deposits to extend loans, obviously, which the loan giving, how the loan helps the people, that we have to see. Okay, giving loan is not a simple task. Okay, so correct at a right time giving a loan to somebody will definitely lead to such a great growth, that we are going to see with the 2 more case studies. Clear? And there is a huge demand for loans for various economic activities. So banks are playing a vital role in giving loans. Henceforth, it helps the economic activities, okay, in India. So how the economic activities are improved in case of bank, that we will see now. 2 different credit situations. So credit is all about loan, that you need to know, and refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies to the borrower. Borrower is nothing but the one who receives money, lender the one who gives money. Clear? So between an agreement, which is called an agreement, okay, so with money, goods or services in return for the promise of future payment. Definitely, they are not going to do it by now, so they will be giving it in the future. So whatever the amount we are receiving, I am a borrower. If you are giving some amount, you are a lender. So definitely in future, I should repay it. Okay, this is called an agreement. This is all about loan. I hope it is clear now. And credit is also called as loan, that I have told you in advance. So activities of bank, whether credit would be useful or not, that we are going to analyze with these 2 examples. So obviously for everybody, credit is mandatory, and credit will definitely help them in many ways. So in what way it is? So festival season, and credit is for crop production. So people raise loans for many other reasons. Okay, so for an industry, for agricultural purpose, we require money. Okay, those who have money, they will manage with their capital amount. If not, that production should not be stopped. Okay, that economic activity should be undertaken by the individual. For that, government is providing loans. Clear? So here, credit plays a vital role and positive role if made a good profit. Definitely, credit will create impact. What kind of impact it would be? Positive and negative. So now we will analyze how the credit is being made positive. Here, how it is said to be negative. Clear? So here, in Swapna's case, in this, they are raising a loan with bank, okay, to do some agricultural activity. Okay, due to some natural calamity, they couldn't make some good profit. So what will happen here? If it is a loan activity, she has to pay the loan on time, on a given particular time. But here it is not available. Okay, she can't do that. Okay, because her crops were failed. She were totally dependent on the crop production. So now in this criteria, she is not in a position to repay the loan amount. That is called debt trap. Debt is nothing but whatever the amount we are borrowing it from somebody. So kadan adha namba debt in solvom. Debt trap is nothing but she was caught by the debt. That is called debt trap. So here she was not in a position to pay the loan amount, that is called debt trap. Okay, here the loan is not helping her in her situation. But in case of a shoe manufacturer, on a festival season, he has got huge orders. So he doesn't have money to do that. So for that, he is raising loan from the bank. So what happened in case of bank? They have paid loan for that particular person. With that amount, with a short period of time, he has manufactured many products like this. So credit plays a vital role in positive role. Okay, if made a good profit. Here, this shoe manufacturer has made such a good profit with the money what he had borrowed from the bank. So I hope you have understood the topic clearly now. So loan is for the developmental activity for the individuals. Okay, so it is an economic activity which is very useful in case of manufacturer like them, but in case of here for the agricultural purpose, they were caught by the debt trap. Okay, so this is all about loan activity. So you can conclude loan activity is very vital and important. Okay, if it is in a positive way. For these kind of situation, it is not useful. Okay, so because agriculture is totally dependent on nature, so if there is some natural calamity or something like that, we cannot pay the loan, so we will be caught by the debt trap. Okay, so now terms of credit. So in this, now we are going to see what are all the terms. Now I have told you credit is all about loan. So how we can get loan from the bank, that we have to understand. So first thing, collateral. What do you mean by collateral? Okay, collateral is a very important thing that you need to have in order to get loan from the bank. Just like that, you cannot get money from the bank. There are a lot of procedures before you getting a loan, okay, from the bank. So asset, okay, it is an asset that the borrower owns. So whatever be the asset, whether your house or land or something, okay, your asset owns such as land, building, vehicle, livestock, okay, and deposits with the banks. So if you have any deposits with the bank, you can show that process also, that document also. Okay, and uses this as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. So until you are repaying the amount, so he will have your document, okay, as a guarantee. Clear? Because without anything, it is highly impossible to raise a loan from the bank. I hope you have got some idea. Collateral is mandatory in order to get loan. And the next thing, documentation required. Of course, if not the collateral, so you have to document, documentation like, somebody else will be just referring you, okay, on behalf of you. If you are failing to give the loan, someone else has to give. So some security, some guarantee should be given by any other people, or mode of repayment, tenure. So when you will be, how you will be repaying it, and tenure is all about time period, when you will be repaying it, and rate of interest. All these terms you need to know. So always I suggest, when you are getting loan from the formal sector, the amount of interest will be less. Okay, you can get the loan for a very less amount of interest, but in case of informal sector, so informal sector you cannot expect for a less interest rate. Understand? So all these terms is mandatory, is required in order to get a loan. Okay, so I hope you have understood about loan activity, okay, and how the loan activity is positive and negative in two different cases, and what are all the terms and conditions. So for example, collateral, documentation, mode of repayment, and tenure, and rate of interest, all those are important. And sources of credit in rural areas. In rural areas, how it's happening, that you have to know. Clear? So in rural areas, money lenders, okay, money lenders are huge. In rural is nothing but village background. They don't have proper collateral, okay, they don't have proper awareness on how the banks are giving loans to the people. They don't have documentation first of all, and they don't have idea to approach the bank. So in these cases, okay, money lenders are playing a vital role. For huge rate of interest, they are giving money to the poor people, and this is how they are deprivated in many cases, okay. And other informal sources, so here it is huge, money lenders and other informal sources. So cooperative services societies, cooperative is all about government. It is between the producers and the agriculturalist, okay, it's between them, that is called cooperative societies. And from the bank, 52%. So majorly you can say sources of credit in rural areas is totally dependent on money lenders and other informal sources. Clear? And in case of credit in urban areas, that you have to know. In case of urban areas, mostly the people are educated and they know how to deal with bank activities. So 85% of credit from informal sources, okay, that is from poor background, okay. The poor people are raising loans from local money lenders, informal sectors, but only 18% from banks and other formal sector. That is a valid information. They are very less to approach. There are people, very less population are approaching bank for the loan purpose in rural areas, especially the poor people. Okay, but the rich takes more than 90% of loans from the formal sectors only. Okay, formal sector which includes nationalized banks, okay, cooperative societies, okay, all other things. So the rich people are taking loans from the formal sources. So formal sources mostly serve the rich people. So rich people are actually enjoying much more facilities by the government just by approaching formal sources. Understand? So sources of credit, okay. So where the people can get sources, what are all the sources for them, where they can get money, that you have to understand. Formal credit and the informal credit. So always I suggest approaching a formal credit will help you in many ways. Let us see what are all the ways. So these sources of credit are registered by the government. Number one, they are registered with the government, so there is no worry and have to follow its rules and regulations. Obviously, they can't do any kind of injustice to the people. They will be abiding to the rules and regulations set out by the government. And RBI supervises the functioning of formal sectors of credit. So RBI definitely, they will have an eye on all the banks. So RBI will supervise all those, and they generally charge lower rates of interest. Obviously, if you get loan from the formal sector, you will be given very less rate of interest, okay. And their main motive is social welfare. This point is very important, children, okay. So social welfare, they are not gonna get huge amount as an interest from the people. Their motto is to just to improve, just to encourage them with so much of economical activities. So they are not gonna charge very much rate of interest, okay. So it's all about formal sector. Example, banks and cooperatives will be there always to help you out. Informal credit. So when it comes for informal sector or informal credit, you will have to pay a lot of interest, clear, which could be your friends, your relatives, or the local money lenders, okay. Obviously the interest rate will be high. Let us see what are all the points. These include those small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. The government cannot control all those, and obviously if any bad things happen, you cannot even go to the government, because they are not registered with the government, they are not in the control of government. There is no organization which supervises the credit activities. Nobody is there to take care of all those, okay. It's solely based upon your own risk, and they charge much higher rates of interest. Obviously, the interest rate will be very high. You cannot compare that with the formal sector. If you are taking loan from the bank, obviously the interest rate will be less, which facilitates the people to do any other economic activity. For here, in case of here, you will have to pay a lot, and their main motive is profit making. That is the only major difference you could see. So in case of informal sector, their motto is to get profit from your end, but in case of formal sector, they will help you in many ways. If you are in the need of money to do a business, if you are in the need of money to do an agriculture, they will give loans with very less interest, okay. And example, money lenders, traders, employees and relatives or friends, whatever, okay, they are not registered with the government and they won't follow any other protocols also, okay. So why are the banks not advancing loans to the poor people? Now you have to understand one thing, why the government is restricting their loan activities with poor people. The reason is very simple, okay. Poor people are not have anything to offer as collateral security. Collateral, I have told already, it's a document, okay, it's a document about their asset, their building, their whatever the possessions they have. So they are which is lacking here, the collateral, or banks are not available in many rural areas, okay. It is once upon a time, but nowadays you could see many rural banks also, okay. Banks do not consider the poor. Even now banks are not available to some areas, clear, that need to be improved. And banks do not consider the poor people as credit worthy, okay. It's happening everywhere. If you are from a very normal background, if you want to get loan from the bank just for your educational purpose, they will ask a lot of things like so many documentations are required. But you would have heard about some other great personalities who had got who had raised huge loan from the bank, but they couldn't they didn't repay anything. For them it's very easy to give loans. This is how banks are considering the poor people. Poor and ignorant people find it difficult to produce the needed documents, obviously, okay. So poor people can't afford all those documentations which is required by the government, okay. These are all the problems faced by poor people. So that is the reason there is a huge gap between the poor households and the formal sectors, okay. But the rich is making use of it. So finally, our government of India has come with the solution called Self-Help Group. This is a very important activity. You could see that in the picture. Women totally 15 to 20 members, they will sit together, they will do some small savings. Okay, so let us see how it works. Okay, it's a very very important topic from this lesson. Okay, so what is the functions of SHG? SHG is nothing but self-help group. So self-help groups are organizations. Okay, so they will be organizing it for the rural poor, particularly women. It's particularly for women, and SHG usually has 15 to 20 members. Okay, the limitation belonging to a particular neighborhood to meet and save regularly. So every week they will be just meeting in a particular place. They will be just saving their money. Okay, to some extent. Okay, saving rupees can be varied from depending upon their ability. They could save 25 to 100 rupees. Okay, the members of the group can take small loans from the group to meet their needs. In order to meet their needs, they could take the amount from the group itself. Okay, for the small needs. And at the same time, the group does charge an interest rate on the loans, but it's much less than the loans from the informal sources like loans from money lenders and traders, etc. If you raise loans from the informal sector, obviously you will have to pay a lot. You will never be in a position to repay your loan amount exactly. But when you are raising loans from the bank or from the SHG, definitely the interest rate will be very less, so that which will help you in many ways. So that is the reason we are nowadays promoting you all to get loan from the formal sector. If the group is regular in their savings, it becomes eligible to avail loan from the bank. First, they should utilize the self-help group in a proper way. The bank will be monitoring them, because they will be just depositing all their savings in the bank only. Okay, so if all the functionings are good, definitely the bank will give you loan. Okay, this is how you could connect through the self-help group. The poor households can reach the bank, that is formal sector, directly. This is the motto of this. And in order to save the people from informal sectors, okay, like money lenders, okay, we could just go ahead with self-help group. This is a great massive step taken by the government in order to save the poor households. And objective of the SHGs. So here you could see, finally we are at the tip. So finally the objectives of SHG, it's nothing but to inculcate is nothing but develop. Okay, to develop the saving and banking habits. So poor households are not at all aware of all these activities, which would be an encouragement for them. So we can just develop all these savings and banking habits among members, and to gain economic prosperity. Okay, just to improve them through loan or credit. Okay, their families will be helped in all these way, and to create group feeling among women. Okay, so let them give all this awareness just by doing SHG, so that the women are aware of what they are going to do, what is their savings. All these habitual will be created. Okay, that is all about money and credit lesson. I hope it is clear now. So it is a very simple and easy chapter if you read it once with your textbook. Clear? So thank you all for watching this video, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, on subscribe the video. We'll be just posting some other chapters videos also soon. Thank you all. Bye bye.